Hi, it's Jake at Canadian Cutting Edge, and today I've got a video that's unique for me. I'm doing a top 5 video. I was inspired by KnifeCollector031 The Netherlands. I'll put a link to his channel in the description below. He did a video of the top 5 knife acquisitions of the first 6 months of 2016. So that's a long way of saying in the last 6 months, what are the best knives I bought? I got inspired by that video to do one of my own, but I don't want to do it quite the same because in the first 6 months of 2016, I've bought, I think, 3 knives that cost more than $35. So almost automatically those knives are going to win because one was 120 bucks, another one was $85, and so on. And yeah, those are going to beat the knives that are less than $25. It's just the way things are, right? So I'm going to do my top 5 sub $25 knives that I currently own. Probably most of the knives that you'll see in this video were bought in 2016. So yeah, it's sort of within that spirit. Let's see what happens here. I picked out 10 knives. I don't know which is going to be the winner. We'll see. Stick around. Okay, so after I did the intro, I decided, yes, I'll do knives that I purchased in the last 6 months, the first 6 months of 2016. I don't know what my 5 winners are. I've picked 10 here. I'll try to go through this video quickly. I've just got them here in the size order from largest to smallest. First, what I have is the Harns Blazer. This is a huge knife. I'm going to have to move my camera up. Hang on. I just need more space here. Okay. So the Harns Blazer, really big, heavy knife. The thing's half a pound. It's got an extra locking system so that you can't, disengage the liner lock when that lock is engaged. This is a really big knife. This is my most expensive of this bunch. This guy was 24 something. I really like this knife. I'm a big knife guy. I like big, heavy, hard use knives. But I also like really small knives as well. So on the small end, I've got this Sanrenmu. I have not made a review video on this one yet. I like that dragon logo there. This is the 7129 LUC-SC. And this is just a really nice, tiny little frame lock. It looks good. It feels good. It opens well. It's a really nice little knife. Let's put the dragon up like that. The other one that I have is a Ganzo, the other large one I have here. This is the 722 series. Again, look at that fine. Again, I make a lot of Ganzo videos, and I did one recently with a frame lock. Look at that. Wire EDM production on a $22 knife. Maybe it was 21. Just amazing. Amazing little knife. Well, big knife. Over 3 inches of blade. This is a heavy knife as well. I also have this Sanrenmu knife. Again, I've not made a review video on this one yet. I got this recently. I've been carrying it for the last 15 days, off and on, about half those days. I really, really like this knife. It's got a lot of pluses on it in a lot of ways. Actually, I did record the review video for this yesterday, but it's not scheduled to come up for another week and a half. I'll post this thing probably on Saturday, which is tomorrow. This is Friday, of course. Really, really nice little knife. This is the 7076 LUX GKJ. All right, let's put these down after I've introduced them. What we also have here is one of the large end lands. This is the EL-10. Yeah, I haven't memorized all the names for all my knives. It's just my memory just doesn't work that well that way for those details. This is G10, black and white layers, cut out and sculpted. Oh, it looks great. Really, really good looking knife. For less than $20, this knife is a huge plus. The clip is just the right tension for a blade that's got this really highly texturized G10, so it's quite grippy. So the clip isn't too tight for that. Nice flat grind, large knife, over 3.5 inches. Here we've got an Essie BRK-R1, the Zancudo. I bought this summer as well. Early summer in June I bought this, and this is a really nice little frame lock. If you want a light knife and you want a smaller knife, this is a great slicer. They've made the blade nice and thin, and then a full flat grind. It just slices like hot knife through butter. Very, very nice. Plastic nylon scale on the one side with, a hidden liner inside there. And then this stainless frame lock. Really nice clip. Not too deep carry. I like this little flat grind a lot. All right, and here we have a Y-Start knife. This is, what's the name of it? The JIN-01, I believe. The name's not on the blade, by Y-Start. Check out my video for this knife. I went head over heels for this thing. It's a really nice knife for under $20 at Fast Tech. Fast Tech has the most options for this. They've got like 7 different scale options, a number of them that are 2 colors and a number of them that are single tone, G10. Another big flat grind. By now, if you're following my videos, you know I'm partial to flat grinds. I just like them a lot. Here I've got another knife that I've bought this year. I just got this one half a month ago or so, 3 weeks ago. The light green G704 by Ganzo. I like the G704. I'm collecting every single edition that they've made of it, every color. It's probably my top Ganzo knife. And so just having said that, you already know that this guy is going to beat out this other guy here, the orange one that I introduced before. I just really like the shape, the style. It cuts really well. It's not a full flat grind, but it's, a nice high flat grind there. Really, really nice knife. Really nice, good jimping on the spine of the knife. And here we've got the flagship for Enland. And I really, really like this knife. Not so much for its performance, because it's not a super performing knife. It's got a nice flat grind there. It's got 8CR13 MOV, which is good on a cheap knife. This thing's like $14, $15. Wooden scales, you can get it with G10 as well. I got the G10 version earlier. The wooden scaled version I got in the last 6 months. And it's just for me, see, I can't even get it to flip very well. The detent isn't very nice on it. It's mostly the looks is why I got this knife. I should make it clear that my choice here is not what is the best knife, technically speaking, but what knife do I connect with the most? Do I like the most? Which 5? Here's my third Ganzo in the group. This one's got wooden scales. This is the G737, and it's a nice big, Spidey-inspired knife. Top, front and back end bolsters. Effectively a frame lock, but it's a liner lock. But it's got the large liner lock there. Locks up really well. Nice, tight, really good looking knife. Okay. So like I said before, I don't know which ones I'm going to rule out on this knife collection, which 5 I'm going to go with. Since I already said this guy's been beat out by another knife, we're going to have to say goodbye to this Ganzo. Sorry to see you go, buddy. Maybe just a little too heavy, but I really, really like her a lot. Okay, and another one that's got to go for being my top 5 is going to have to be, this is hard to choose. Man, this is hard to choose. It's going to have to be my other big knife, because while I like the Blazer, I like it a lot, it's just too big for me to enjoy in enough environments. I basically have to play with this guy at home. He's just too big to carry around. Okay, and so there's 8. What else do I have to get rid of? I'm going to get rid of the only other Enland. I've got 2 Enland knives. The only other Enland knife in here is that wooden scaled one. I really like this knife, but not one of my top 5. Another one that's not in my top 5 is going to be this Dragon, although I like it a lot. It just doesn't quite make it yet. Maybe after I've owned it longer and used it a little bit more. It certainly is a really nice knife, this 7129 from San Ranmu. All right, so now we've got 6 knives, and I've got to choose one more that I'm not going to keep in my top 10. Which knife is it going to be? I think I'm going to have to get rid of this Ganzo. I had 3 of them make it into the top 10 that I had there, but this guy, I don't know why, I'm just going with how I feel this morning as I record this. So here are my top 5. So I've got this Y-Start JIN-01. I've got my Enland EL01. And I just can't let go of that Enland EL01. I actually had a custom sheath pouch made for this knife and a San Ranmu 7010, a 2-knife pouch. I really like that. These Ganzos, the 704, it's just a style that I gravitate to. I really, really like it. I like the access lock. I can just use the access lock to flip it open and closed. Usually underneath this apparatus, it's a little bit trickier. So I can do that Benchmade flipping back and forth kind of trick. It feels good in the hand. It's not too heavy. It comes in like 8 different colors. I hope to finally get my red one within the next month or so. And, it just looks mean, the style of the blade. Nice and grippy thumb ramp there. I really like this Ganzo. And this Zancudo that I got recently, this is my first BRK knife. Yes, I admit it. And it's nice and light. It just feels great. It's got a knife edge that, out of the box, it works really well. It's a good cutter, good slicer, nice and light in the pocket. You got the option for tip up or tip down carry. I've left it the way it shipped, the original tip down. I tend to leave them as they're shipped until I get ready to do my review on them. I don't want to forget how they shipped. Really nice knife. And this guy, the 7076 LUX GKJ. This is the top sub 3-inch knife that I own right now. There's no other short blade that I like better than this thing right now. Just look at that thing. Beautiful. Okay, so do I have a top knife? Which one I like best out of these? Which one's number 1, 2, 3, and 4? I have to say this Enland's number 1. Technically, it's not the best knife in certain ways. The detent is too weak for my liking. I don't like a weak detent when I've got tip-up carry, because the knife something could push on the flipper here and have it open in my pocket, which is one of the reasons why I carry this knife without the clip in my pouch when I carry it. So technically it's got some issues. Doesn't flip the smoothest. It's got a Teflon bearing in there and one bronze bearing. It's not the greatest that way. But that's my number 1 knife right now that I got this in the last 6 months. The Ganzo's number 2. The Y-Start's number 3. The Sanrenmu's number 4. And this Zancudo is number 5.